Being a mom is one of the hardest jobs there is, and let alone being a single mom doing it on your own, it's that much harder. You're doing life on not even level 10, not even level 20. You're doing life on level 100. This one is for you single moms out there. Let me paint you a picture, one that you might be very well aware of. You wake up before your kids, you make breakfast, pack the lunches, drop them off, go to work, come home, make dinner, help with homework, do bedtime. And then when the house is finally quiet, you sit down and you wonder, why does it feel like I'm working this hard and still not getting ahead? If that hits close to home for you, this video is for you. Because being a single mom means you're the breadwinner, you're the caregiver, you're the household manager, and you're the emotional anchor all at once. And there is no backup, no second income to lean on, no one to split the financial decisions with. It is all you. And that is exactly why the money mistakes I'm going to talk about today hit harder for single moms than for anyone else. Because when you're the only one, there's no margin for error. There is no catching up later if you miss the window now. Today, I'm sharing the hidden truths about why so many single moms, smart, hardworking, deeply capable women end up financially stuck. And not because they're doing anything wrong, but because no one ever gave them the right framework. So grab a moment for yourself, grab a cup of tea, and let's get into it. Hi, I'm Emily, your big sister in finance and financially free mom of 2. And if money and motherhood is something you're interested in, then hit the like and subscribe button and keep watching. Before I dive right in, I do want to acknowledge something. If you're a single mom, whether you got here through divorce, separation, a relationship that didn't work out, or a choice that you made on your own, you are carrying something that most people don't fully understand. That mental load, the financial load, the emotional load. And it's all of it every day, 24/7. This video is not here to add to that weight. It's here to give you clarity because I believe that when single moms understand what's actually holding them back financially, they become unstoppable. And I've seen it happen. I've seen it happen time and time again. So we're going to focus on the 2 biggest mistakes today. Not 22, but we're going to go deep because that's where the real change happens. So let's go. Okay, mistake number 1. And I want to be really careful how I say this because I have so much respect for what single moms do. The mistake is this. You are so focused on making it through the month that you've never had the space or the permission to think about building for the future. And survival mode has become your default financial strategy. And here's how it shows up. You make sure the rent or mortgage is paid. You can cover childcare, which, by the way, is often the single biggest expense in a single mom's budget, sometimes rivaling the mortgage itself. You keep the lights on, you keep the kids fed, the car running, you handle every bill, every expense, every financial decision completely alone. You are super mom. And if there's anything left over at the end of the month, it might go to just a small savings account, or it disappears into the next unexpected thing, a medical bill, a car repair, a school trip you forgot about. There is no investing, there is no retirement planning, there is barely an emergency fund because you're in survival mode, and survival mode is reactive, not strategic. And here's the hidden truth that nobody will tell you. Survival mode is designed to keep you safe in the short term, but it quietly destroys your long-term financial future. When you are purely in survival mode, you make financial decisions based on what's urgent, not what's important. The urgent things will scream at you. So the bill due on Friday, the broken appliance, the school fees, the important things tend to be silent. Retirement savings, investing, building assets. And because the important things are silent, they often get ignored month after month, year after year. And here's a number that I want you to sit with. The average single mother retires with significantly less saved than her married or partnered counterparts, not because she earns less, not because of less effort, but because she had no one to share those expenses with. no financial backup during those hard stretches, and no runway to invest when things were tight. Surprise, surprise, right? And the compounding effect of this is brutal. A woman who starts putting away just $200 a month at age 32 versus age 42 ends up with over $100,000 more by retirement from the same monthly contribution. Time is the most powerful financial tool you have, and survival mode steals that time. Now, I'm not saying any of this to make you feel bad, because if you've been in survival mode, it's because you've been doing what you had to do. And that is not a failure. That is resourcefulness. That is strength. But here's what I want you to hear. Survival mode was never meant to be permanent. And the shift out of it doesn't require a massive income. It requires a decision that says, I am not just managing today, I am building tomorrow. Even if building tomorrow right now means putting $50 a month into an investment account. The amount is not the point. The posture is the point. We're going to talk about how to make that shift practical in a few minutes, but first, let me tell you about mistake number 2. Okay, so mistake number 2, and this is the root of everything. Single moms almost never have a written financial plan, not because they don't care, but because of the mental bandwidth required to do everything else leaves nothing left for the long-term financial thinking. And I want to normalize this because the financial industry often makes planning feel like something you do when you have extra money and extra time. Single moms are told implicitly or explicitly that financial planning is for people in a different season of life. When the kids are older, when the income is higher, when things settle down. And that's a lie. And it's a really expensive one. Here's the hidden truth. Not having a plan doesn't mean nothing is happening to your finances. It means someone else's plan is happening to them. And what do I mean by that? When you don't have a financial plan, you default to whatever the system defaults to. So you stay in a savings account earning next to nothing while inflation just quietly eats away at what you've worked for. You keep your money where it feels safe instead of where it can grow. You make financial decisions based on fear or habit instead of strategy. And the single mom context makes this especially critical because you don't have a safety net. You are the safety net for your children. In a 2-income household, if one person hasn't figured out their retirement, the other person's savings can partially compensate, and you have more of a buffer. When you're doing this alone, there is no buffer, which means your plan has to be really intentional because there is nobody to catch what falls through the cracks. A personal finance plan for a single mom doesn't have to be complicated, but it does need to exist, and it does need to cover 4 basic things. 1, your protection layer. Do you have life insurance? A will? If something happened to you tomorrow, is your children's future protected? This is a non-negotiable when you are your children's only financial provider. 2, your emergency fund. I know this is hard when every dollar is already spoken for, but even building towards 1 month of expenses, not 3, not 6, just 1, gives you that buffer and keeps a bad month from becoming a total crisis. And 3, your retirement, even if it's small, even a $50 a month into a Roth IRA, because you have to start. Because the women who wait until later often find that later just never comes. And 4, your income growth strategy. Single moms often just accept their current income as fixed. And it's not. Whether that's asking for a raise, developing a skill, building a side income, or positioning for a promotion, your earning potential is a financial asset, and growing it changes everything. Now, I know what you may be thinking. When do I find the time to do any of this? How do I find the brain space? And I hear you, I really do. But here's the reframe that I want to offer. You don't need millions of hours. You don't need decisions. A financial plan is mostly just a set of decisions that you make once, put in motion, and then you don't have to revisit it every day. So setting up an automatic transfer to a retirement account takes like 10 minutes. Making the decision to get term life insurance policy takes 1 phone call. And writing down 3 financial goals for the next 2 months takes 20 minutes. These are not time-consuming tasks. They feel impossible because the mental load is already full, but they're actually some of the highest leverage things that you can do for yourself and, more importantly, for your kids. All right, so let's bring it home. The two mistakes we talked about today, running on survival mode and having no personal finance plan, they're not character flaws, and they're almost inevitable consequences of a system that was never designed to support single mothers. You are managing what would normally be two people's worth of responsibility on one person's income and one person's time. The fact that you're still standing, you're still showing up, and you're still trying to figure it out, that is not nothing. That is extraordinary. But I want more for you than just still standing. I want thriving. I want financial security. That means your children grow up watching you build something and they can then learn from it. And the shift starts with this. Stop waiting for things to get easier before you start planning. Start planning, and that's what makes life easier. And here are 3 concrete things that you can do this week. Step 1 is write down your protection status. Do you have life insurance? Do you have a basic will? If the answer is no, that's going to be your first financial priority. There are affordable term life insurance options available. This will protect your kids no matter what. Step 2, open a retirement account if you do not have one. If you have one through work, increase that contribution even just by like 1%. And if you don't have one, open up a Roth IRA. Start with whatever you can, $25, $50. The account being open and active matters more than the amount right now. And step 3, write down 3 financial goals with a timeline, not vague ones, specific ones. I want to have a $1,000 emergency fund by December. I want to increase my income by 10% in the next 12 months. Write them down, put them somewhere where you can see them. That piece of paper is the beginning to your plan. 3 steps this week. That's it. Single moms don't talk about money enough, and the world doesn't talk about single moms' finances enough. There's a gap between the reality of what you're carrying and the financial advice that exists out there for you. And that gap costs women real money and real freedom. And that's why content like this exists. That's why I want to make it. And that's why Soro Finance exists. If this resonated with you, please follow. All the links are right below. We create content and have coaching specifically for women who are building financial lives on their own terms, without the jargon, without the judgment, without the finance bro energy, and without pretending that everyone has the same starting point. And if you know a single mom who needs to hear this, send this video to her right now. A lot of us are out here figuring this out alone when you don't have to be. You're not behind and you're not too late. You're exactly where you need to be to get started. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.